everybody, this is Danny with from Deep South Homestead with Cabin Talk today. That's the new, what we're going to call our series now, is going to be Cabin Talk, because I feel like that it's important that we understand as many aspects about putting in a cabin as we can. Now, having been a master carpenter most of my life, I've been a general contractor, all those things. There's some areas I want to cover that that's important. You know, we had originally talked about, you know, guys, let me just be honest with you. If I'd have just wanted a cabin here, it would already be here. If I'd have just took the easy route. I could have went up to the shed place. I could have had a shed brought up and set out here. It'd already be here and we'd already be working in it. But there's a little bit more to it than that for me. We've looked at all the different aspects of building a cabin. And there's a lot of avenues that can be taken. Now, first off, we talked about, you know, we could do the shed. We went to the code office. Well, if you go to the code office, then the shed falls under a specific set of rules in which I read to y'all in one of the earlier videos. Now, after thinking about it and after looking at it, we have come to the conclusion that we could go and have this shed built here on our property. As we talked about in the other video, we talked about having a company come in and do the framework for me and frame it up and black it in. That was another option. But since then, there's been some changes that's took place here at Deep South Homestead, and I guess that's the next direction I want to go in. One, we just, as you saw in our previous video, we just had a new shed put up for our tractor because, guys, it's all about priorities. It's kind of ridiculous to buy a brand new tractor and leave it sitting out in the weather. Rather than investing our money in a cabin right now, we decided to go with this shed to go over our tractor and pay for that, so we didn't have any indebtedness in that. So we got that paid for. We've got our tractor out of the weather, and we felt like that was one of the necessary things that we needed to do. Because it's just, like I said, it's just kind of senseless to have a new piece of equipment and not take care of it. So in doing that, we decided to relook at the cabin project again. Well, the bottom line is this company wanted almost $8,000 to come over here and black in a cabin for us, and I still had to provide the wafer board, the house wrap, and the windows. They were just going to provide the rest of it. Well, Wanda and I, because I am a contractor, I have been most of my life, I went to the building supply places and I priced out all the material to build this thing with. If I was to do it myself, I can build this cabin for a little bit more than half the price of what they were going to charge me to do the framework. So guys, this is the bottom line. Finances is tight here at Deep South Homestead. We don't have money to just throw around. And the fact that we just put up the shed for the tractor, that took most of my money up that I was going to start the cabin with. And we feel like that it would be in our best interest if we went another route. And that route is going to be, guys, this is personal for me. This is not just something that I'm going to take lightly. This cabin build is extremely personal to me. Because you have to understand, my whole life, I've wanted my own cabin in the woods. Well, I'm at a point in my life now, guys. You know my health has deteriorated. I can no longer get out and hold a job anymore like I used to. I have to work a little while and stop, stay in. Some days I don't even get to get out and do anything hardly because I just don't feel good and my health won't allow it. But guys, the bottom line is this. I've got to have one last time. Construction is my life. It's what makes me tick. It's who I am. And for me to build this cabin myself would be my one last feat in life, I believe. I think that if I could do this, that it would bring me such joy to know that I built my own cabin myself. Now, it may take me a long time. I don't know. Financially speaking, yeah, it's going to take me a while because I don't have enough of an income to make big impacts at one particular time. But as I get money, I could pour a few footings. I could lay a couple of block piers. You know, I could put a few boards up here and a few boards up there. And if I watch what I'm doing and save my money up, then I think I could do this myself. And not to say that I won't need any help, because there'll be times that I'm going to have some help from somebody. If I can find somebody to help me put the metal roof on, then that would be great. But guys, the bottom line is this. This is my one last chance in life to build the dream that I wanted. And for me to do that would bring me great joy. So this is probably the route that we're going to take for several reasons. One is financially. Second, it's just what I want to do. It's something I've always dreamed of doing. Third, it's just who I am, guys. I want one last chance at building something. When this is done, I doubt I'll ever get to build anything else again, because I don't see myself needing anything else after this or wanting anything else, because this will probably be where I'd want to spend most of my time as I get in my later years. And so I wanted to put this video out there to just let y'all know that there's always lots of different options. Don't just settle with the first thing that comes along, because I could have. Like we mentioned before, there could already be a cabin sitting right here where I'm sitting at, and we could be working on the inside of it. But I would have had to have settled for something less than what I wanted. I would have had to settle for something that would not meet code. Even though code says I could call it a hunting camp or a fishing camp, and I can put anything here. But after talking with the inspector again and building it myself, as long as I take detailed pictures of what I do and what I do meets code, then in the future, if I decide to make it a dwelling place, there should not be any problems, he said, as long as I have detailed pictures of everything that I've done. And the fact that I am a general contractor, then I don't have to have a set of prints that's signed off on. As long as I have detailed pictures of every aspect of this cabin as I build it, it will be like looking at a blueprint. As long as I use the right spans for everything and don't overspan something or don't overload something, as long as I use the builder's diagrams for spans and spaces and widths and loads and stuff like that, then there should not be a problem with me building this cabin myself. And I was excited to hear that. Even the foundation things, because I'm going to build it myself, falls under a completely different set of rules and we're going to be able to do it a little bit differently. We talked about that with the inspector, and he said that it shouldn't be a problem. He would not have any problem signing off on it if I do it the way we talked about. And guys, in the upcoming videos in the future, we're hoping to be able to show y'all step by step. Now this series may get to be long, but we want to show you step by step how to build a weekend cabin that will also serve as a single family dwelling if you need it to. Now a lot of things don't change. I still have to meet the electrical requirements. There still has to be some form of electrical hook to it, whether it's solar or generator or whatever, in order for it to pass code inspections for single family dwelling. And guys, it's going to do all that in the end. But the big issue here is, this is my one last time, guys. I want to do this not only because it's cheaper, but because it's for me. And with that, thank y'all from Deep South Homestead.